Welcome back. In this specific example, we are going to be looking at another way to write linear equations if I give you a scenario or a story problem, but I have some helpful hints to start. So these are more keywords that you might want to write down that you know. Earlier I gave you a list, told you to pause the video. You might want to do the same here. So rate, if you ever see a rate, that is always, 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 always going to be your slope. It is going to be whatever is attached to your x variable. So words like per, okay, per is a key word. I actually had you write that down earlier. Per is your slope value. That is multiplication. So if you ever see $3 per day, 2 snacks an hour, 6 times a minute. So if it gives you some like information and then gives you kind of how often does it happen, that is a rate. If you ever see a rate, it is going to be your slope. So per keyword to look for. If you see something like a flat fee, so that is just a set dollar amount that you have to pay. So something like if you're going to get your car fixed, they might say, hey, we have a flat fee of $250 plus however many hours that they have to work to fix your car. Well, the flat fee, that's the amount of money you have to pay no matter what. If it takes them only 2 minutes to look at it or it takes them 5 hours, you're still going to pay them that flat fee. So if you ever see a flat fee in a story problem, that's your y-intercept, because think of that as like your starting amount, okay? Let's look at this example here. It says you buy a box of 100 pencils for school and end up loaning out 2 pencils per day without getting them back. Write an equation to represent how many pencils you will have left after X days. So we need the slope and the y-intercepts. So let's underline some important things. It says you buy a box of 100 pencils. That's not what I want. Highlighting tool. 100 pencils. And it says you loan out 2 per day. And you don't ever get them back. So we need to write an equation to represent how many you have left after X days. Okay, another key thing there, X days. So whatever X is, that's related to the number of days that have passed. So think again, what is your starting point? What is your change? Your starting point is going to represent your y-intercept. What's changing is your slope. Well, in this case, you are starting with 100 pencils, and your change is the fact that you are losing 2 pencils each day. So we want to write those together. Key word that should have clued you in here was the word per. So if you weren't sure what it was, remember per is your slope. 2 pencils per day. 2 pencils multiplied by how many days? Well, 2 multiplied by X then is what we're looking at. So that would be our equation. Some of you may be wondering, what in the world, Miss Jose, where did -2 come from? Well, in this example, it says we are losing or loaning out 2 pencils per day. If we left it a +2, that means we are gaining 2 pencils each day. We want to lose 2 pencils. So it's a -2, going down in value. So -2 pencils each day plus our starting amount of 100 pencils will tell us how many pencils we actually have at the end of the day. So you got to be careful. Notice those little keywords there. So because it said we were loaning them out, we were losing them, it is a negative value. Trick problem. So let's look at what happens if I give you a little extra information. If X is the number of days and Y is the number of pencils left, how many pencils will we have after 15 days? Okay, key thing here, I said 15 days. Well, we said X is the number of days. X is right here, which means we're substituting 15 in for X. So here, plug in 15, use my little parentheses, and we've got secret multiplication. -2 times 15 simplifies to -30. Well, -30 plus 100 is 70. So what that means is after 15 days, I will only have 70 pencils remaining. Make sure you try something like this on your own. Good luck. This is what I want you to try. Y equals negative 2x plus 100. If you have 30 pencils left, how many days have passed? Go ahead and give it a try. Pause the video because I'm going to give you the answer. So I substituted 30 in for y, because remember x is how many days. So 30 pencils goes in for our y. And then I have this equation. I subtracted 100 from each side to get negative 70 equals negative 2x. And then I divided by negative 2 on both sides to get 35. So that means it will take 35 days to have only 30 pencils left.